It's 7:30. Sorry, no, it's not. It's 7:45, and we've got 2 wagons here already. This needs the windows washing and filled up with diesel. That one's been filled up with diesel, still needs the windows washing. My dad's just moving some wood chips to the boiler out of the dry bay into that bay, and I'm just going to weigh these 2 wagons in, get them tipped and they're back out again. There's a 1,400 tonne in, 3 load come in last night after I'd edited. Just need to shove them up before I can get these 2 wagons tipped. I thought they'd been pushed up last night, but they haven't. Just juicing this one up, the other one's got a hole in the tyre, so I'm going to put a plug in it now. And then that one's all ready as well. Put that lace through that needle. All the dust settles on the window, so I'm just going to clean it all off under there. So you can see we don't hit the roof with the grain pushers. Green again. One done, now this one. It's a bit of a lull in the wagon, so I'm just shoving up now with the bucket because Adam's welding up the homemade pusher. Every year it sort of needs a little bit of a refurb. Anyway, this is quite stodgy stuff compared to oilseed rape, so it's cracked, so he's just welding that up now. I'll get as high as I can with the bucket, but the pusher allows us to get it a good 5 foot higher, so if not more. But I have to keep turning this key down here though, and jamming it round because it's spring loaded, and letting the override turn off so that I can keep pushing. Otherwise it just locks out and all it lets me do is boom in and pull the stuff back down on top of me. Spoke too soon, another wagon here already. Gonna get him to put it right in that far corner. It's filling up, the shed looks about half full, but I'm hoping it's not, because there's only sort of 1,500 tonne in here. We want to get 3.5 in. Scan your tipping. Just wish the shed was a bit higher. Charlotte getting a sample. Go on! Go on. A little bit. Got me laid down at that now. Just moving the cab on Adam's 3650 so that we can tip into that bay there, because this stuff doesn't flow out like oilseed rape. We're struggling for clearance in the shed, so we're going to have to tip the wagons in the shed, and then what doesn't come out, tip in that bay there where they can get more height. This cab's kind of in the way, so we're just going to move it tighter into the corner. All right. Just move the combine over in the shed, getting it tight to the corner there. You can't see in the mirror actually. So we can get some fertiliser down the side of it. And we've got room to tip some wagons if we run out of space, so that we can get them in and out quick and then bucket it round to the shed. And it still smells new with the cab.
Keep the wagons moving, we're tipping in here and in there. So that we can just keep them in and out the yard as fast as we can. 12:15, sorry no, it's 11:45, 11:45, 12. We're at 1,860 tonne now in the shed, so it looks like it's going to fit in. The problem is there's more wagons on today because there was less on yesterday. I'm in the doorway now and we're struggling for tipping height because of the door. So we're having to tip outside near the bay and bucket some through. Keep pushing it up and get some wagons in when we can. Chaos. Adam's got the bush on getting up there. We're getting up to about, I don't know, 30 foot up there. Sky's the limit, or the roof as we say. Sam's bucketing out that temporary bay there where we can tip.
2,300 tonne now. We're tipping in this bay here now because we physically can't tip in the doorway because the stuff's not sliding out like oilseed rape does, and it's too much like hard work. So every wagon tips, Sam buckets it across, and then Adam's in here now pushing it up. So still under like just over 1,000 tonne to go, 1,200 tonne. I don't know whether they'll empty the boat today or not. Probably not. It's now about 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. It's actually 2:45. Screening stone and Frank's loading it as well. That's going out as well. This is the pusher. It snapped the foot this morning, so Adam's welded it up. It's 10 metres long. It was made originally 7.5 metres long, and then we couldn't get the height in the oilseed rape, so we extended it again. The blade used to be there, so now it's right the way up there, but it helps us get it really high. So this shed's 32 foot to the eaves, to the ridge. We're pretty close to that now.
Just climbing up a pile now. I've got a dust mask on because it's obviously dusty. It's on the top now. I'll flip the camera.
Yeah, so I can pretty much touch the roof if I want to. 2,300 tonne, another 1,200 tonne to fit in. Should do it. Adam's bringing it round from one bunker. Sam's emptying out of that bunker so we can keep 2 wagons tipping at the same time. Been a nice ship coming out of the chipper today. How it's running. Hopefully this sensor's not going to go wrong, but if it does, it's 1,200 quid plus the times 2. It's a cat engine. Apparently it's hard to take the AdBlue out of a cat engine. No one really knows how to do it. There's about 7 wagons queuing up in the yard at the moment. We're turning them around in about 9 minutes, so it's not too bad. We've got 2,500 tonne in the shed, but we've got to get another 1,000 in. So the last bit's difficult because we're filling the corners. Ben's screening some stone as well over there. It's hard to see in this shed, it's so dusty. Got diesel delivery. Fewer wagons down the yard and round the bend. You wouldn't think I'd clean this morning. State of it. One of the wagons has caught the net in the roof to stop the birds roosting, so in the temporary intake. So I'm going to get the cherry picker basket now, go up and take it down. There's wagons everywhere. 20 to 6, it's starting to go dark. Lost count on tonnage. Apparently the boat's got to leave tonight, so they've got to get it empty, so they're now swapping drivers on the wagons to keep them rolling. The shed's filling up. It's trying to rain, which is annoying because it means they'll have to shut the lids on the boat and we'll be waiting for an hour because the rain clouds are predicted to last for an hour. Also, we could have tipped outside, got the wagon turned around and bucketed it in, made it speeded the job up a bit. We can't tip it outside because if it gets wet it expands really fast and then it can heat up as well. So we'll have to tip in different bays in the different sheds and bucket it in. It's hard work. Richard and Andrew have just washed these panels off in case we need them for the doorway. It's filling up now. We've got the last wagon in the yard waiting to be tipped round this corner. I don't know where the rest are. There seems to be another gap. They seem to be like half an hour gap and then 5 or 6 at once, half an hour gap, 5 or 6 at once, which is a bit annoying. So we'll keep going, but apparently it's still on its way. Yesterday's quiz question, does anyone know what that is? People in Britain will, but I'm not sure about in other countries whether they'll know what it is. A lot of people did actually know what yesterday's quiz question was. It is in fact the crow's foot spanner. It was a 22mm and we were using it to tighten a hydraulic pipe on the Merlot that was leaking. So really useful tools to get in awkward tight places. It started raining now at the port, so they had to stop discharge the boat. This is the last wagon. In my maths say there's still 20 wagons left to come. The port say there's only 10 wagons left to come, so there must be 10 loaded somewhere, run out of driving hours. The shed's pretty full now, but we'll fit it in, not a problem. Long day today. I got a time lapse of us filming it yesterday. I tried to put it in yesterday's video, but for some reason the app kept crashing that I used, so I had to take it out. So I'll try it again today, so hopefully that's what you'll see now. Back in the last wagon now and my arm's clicking. I've been doing this all day. Lots of questions yesterday about what's going on with the shed and why we're putting sugar beet pellets in it. Basically, we have a shed that we store our own grain in, but to make it cost effective to build our own store, we built it bigger than it needed to be, and we store for other farmers as well, a lot of them in the cooperative open field. Anyway, that shed now is pretty much empty, and there's an opportunity to store some sugar beet pellets that were coming in on a boat from the Ukraine, because there's a bit of a shortage this year in the UK. So the boat's been emptied, stuck in our shed, and then now it'll go out to other farmers and other feed mills and stuff like that that'll use it. So we're just like a bit of a buffer store for the next few weeks or whatever for them. So that's why we've been filling this shed up. That's about it anyway for today. We'll see you all tomorrow when we'll hopefully get finished with that, and that'll be it for sugar beet.